Let's do hit or miss WWE Backlash. Let's go. Let's see how many predictions I got right. So the actual event began with Jacob Fatu defending the United States Championship against LA Knight, yeah, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre in a fatal four-way match. During the match, Fatu performed a swanton on McIntyre, Knight performed a BFT on Fatu, followed by a South of Heaven by Priest on Knight, and a Claymore by McIntyre on Priest, who fell into a pin on Knight, with McIntyre breaking it up. McIntyre performed a Future Shock DDT on Fatu and Knight. McIntyre performed a Claymore on Knight, but Priest pulled the ref out of the ring. With McIntyre and Priest fighting outside the ring, Knight performed two elbow drops on Fatu for a near fall. Priest performed a South of Heaven on McIntyre through the table. Apparently, he got a concussion out of that. Drew McIntyre did. Woo! Knight, LA Knight attempted an elbow drop on Fatu through a table, but Solo Sikoa pulled Fatu safely. Jeff Cobb, making his WWE debut, then attacks Knight. Fatu pinned Knight following a moonsault to retain the title. So I predicted Jacob Fatu to win this match, and he got the W on it. Did I expect it? Yeah, I think I expected him to pin LA Knight. I don't remember that one. But regardless, I got Jacob Fatu right on winning. This match was honestly 7 out of 10. Pretty interesting with Jeff Cobb and, being part of the bloodline. Is he even part of the bloodline? Well, he's not part of the bloodline. I know that part, but I mean like storyline wise. This match was definitely a hit. All right. So let's go on. Vira Valkyrie defended the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Becky Lynch. Vira Valkyrie attempted a moonsault, but Lynch got her knees up. Lynch performed a manhandle slam on Valkyrie for a near fall in the end. Valkyrie attempted a Night Wing. That's her signature move, for her finisher move. But Lynch was able to block it and struck Valkyrie in the nose. Valkyrie countered a pinning combination into her own to retain the title. After that match, Becky Lynch attacked Valkyrie, meaning the feud is going to continue. No surprise here. It's going to lead up to Becky versus Bayley. Big booty Bayley versus big time Bex. That's going to be obviously a big main event at at SummerSlam. I actually thought Becky was going to win, but even though I got my predictions wrong on that one, this match was a miss. Not because I got my prediction wrong. It was just I was not feeling this match. I felt like this match was too long. How long was this match? This match was 18 minutes. It was almost 20 minutes. This match. The Fatal 4-Way match was 17 minutes. And that's expected because it's a Fatal 4-Way match. Sometimes with Fatal 4-Way matches, it could be short and it could be pretty long. And for this one, you had 4 big names in this mid-card match, and they all have a story, so it kind of made sense for this match to drag out. But Vira Valkyrie and Becky Lynch, there was no need for this match, obviously because of time-wise. But man, this was not it, man. This was not the one. This should have been like 8 to 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I just was not feeling it. It did not feel like a pay-per-view match or a premium live event. It felt like a Raw match. If that match took place on the main event on Raw, I would have been happy with that. But it just was not. it just I don't know. I think maybe it was because it was right after the Fatal Four Way match. That could be it. I think so. I don't know because I honestly I get because I like I give it a 7 out of 6. No, man, I can't even give it that high of a rate. I can't even rate this one, to be honest. It ain't even worth rating. It's not, it wasn't a bad match. It was just like, I just wasn't feeling it, you know? This could be somebody's favorite match of the night, you know? So, and then plus, why am I going to rate something if it was a miss, right? That's true. No rate on this one because it was a miss. Moving on, right? Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This match was like 9 minutes. This was good. This was perfect. This you would think this one would be like 20 minutes, and you would, but it didn't need it to go 20 minutes. But it would have. I felt like it would have worked out if it did, you know. But Dominic versus Penta, Dominic retained. That's who I predicted, and that was obviously a hit. Even though if I got the prediction wrong, you know, I could have said, "Oh, I think Penta is gonna win the title," and Dominic retained. It still would have been a hit because it was still a great match. You know, Gunther versus Pat McAfee. I got my prediction right on this one. This match was a hit as well. The great storytelling. My concern was, is this gonna be a squash match or Pat McAfee gonna be a superhero in this match? And it was he wasn't a superhero, but he was what he was doing was he was standing up to a bully, and that was his role in that match. And that's the story that he told in the ring. I know I'm getting my ass beat, but I'm just standing up to a bully. You know, he's standing up for his friend. So that's the story that he told, and that's what I like. So obviously that was a hit. Gunther made Pat McAfee. Obviously he won by choking him out by submission. Pat McAfee tapped out, and he gave a great performance. And Michael Cole had an involvement as well. I was a little concerned because I thought that was going to be the ending when Michael Cole was holding Gunther's leg and Pat McAfee was covering him. Because I was like, bro, if that would have been the ending, Gunther, you're done. I'm sorry. There's nothing they could do for you. You know, Brock Lesnar could come back and you could squash him, and that's not going to make any difference because you would have been done if that's how you would have lost. But he did it. All right. So now he's good. He's on the road to get back his world heavyweight title. So let's go. Speaking of world titles, John Cena versus Randy Orton, undisputed WWE Championship. Throughout the match, John Cena and Orton, you know, did their usual Randy Orton and John Cena spots. You know, at one point, Cena even attempted to do a punt kick, one of Orton's signature moves, but Orton was able to move out of the way. And then Cena performed a attitude adjustment on Orton. But then Orton performed an RKO on Cena for a near fall. Cena charged at Orton with a belt, but struck the referee. Orton then performed another RKO on Cena, but then there's no referee for this one. Orton performed an RKO on Nick Aldis and some producers to control the mayhem of the fact that there was no ref. As Orton attempted another punt kick, R-Truth basically trying to stop Orton from hurting Cena. But fortunately, all that did was lead him to a RKO. Then Cena performed a low blow on Orton, struck him with the title belt to retain the title. So I got to give that match, honestly, I'm going to give that match a 9 out of 10. Because it was kind of one of those, ooh, is there a possibility Orton could win? There was a little hope, just a little hope, and that's what we got. When you get that little hope of, ooh, there is a chance of this person could win, you know? But that's what, you know, and then finally it didn't happen. It was kind of like, okay, but regardless, I wanted Cena to win. He was my pick. He did win. This match was a hit. Great storytelling match between the two. One last time, you know, one final time, one final showdown between Randy Orton and John Cena. And then if this is the last time, the last chapter of their rivalry, this is the best one. I feel like they could have one more match, maybe even a triple threat match. But as a singles match, I think this is the best one. This is like a good one to close the door. But I really hope it's not. So overall show, I'm gonna be honest. How many matches? So on my predictions, I got one wrong. So one out of five. So that's not too bad. And then out of so and then the one I did not enjoy was the one I got wrong. But even if I got it right, if even if Becky did win the title, it would have not made a difference. The match was too long. It was almost 20 minutes, and it was not there. It was a good match. It just, damn, man, that could have been 10 minutes, to be honest. That could have been a 10-minute match. They did nothing that was worth for that to be 20 minutes. You know what I mean? They did nothing. So overall show, damn, it was mid. Yeah, I gotta do. Yeah, it was mid. It was like it's a mid show. Would I go back? I would go. If I would go back, I would go back and start. Damn, from Dominic's match, I wouldn't even like bother watching. If I got 3 hours to kill, sure. But if I don't have that much time. I'm trying to basically like I only got 2 hours. Then I'll start off from watching the Dominic and Penda's match, and then obviously to the main event. But what's really worth watching? I mean, storyline wise, Penta start Gunther. So that's basically the semi main event and the main event. And then entertainment wise is Dominic and Penta. So and then Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. Nothing there. It was cool. It was a fun match, but there was nothing. If there was a way to have, I think that Intercontinental Championship match should have opened up the show. And I feel like if that, I think that's the only issue. I think where they placed that match was kind of make it like, not really feeling this one. I feel like if that match opened up the show, I think it would have been a bit better. Maybe time wise would have been shorter. I think it would have been a better opening match. I don't think it was a. I think that's the only issue with that one. It was just where they placed that match on the card. So I don't know. So yeah, it was a mid show. So I guess 7 out of 10 overall. Yeah. Yeah.